Hey, shalom, shalom. When I say Kal, Halalium La, Abanawa Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Harakakudash. The balance of the apostles was a quanium of great millstone who rule well. Shalom to the sincere brethren. Akim out there across the four winds, four corners of the globe, pushing the truth, the good news of Yahweh Shai, proclaiming salvation to the elect of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, are proclaiming the downfall of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man and his wicked and evilest empire. Hey, so just another day in Babylon, you know what I mean? Hastening the day and watching for prophecies, man. And one of the main things, you know what I mean, the end time prophecy, one of the main last prophecies to be fulfilled is what? This World War III, man. This new nuclear Armageddon that is to take place upon the earth, man, culminating with Yahweh Shai's return, man. You understand? And what did I see in the news, man? Russia is mobilizing 300,000 troops, man, more to go into Ukraine, man, fueling what? The crisis between Russia and NATO and the EU, man. You know what I mean? Because that's one of the main flashpoints between Russia and NATO and the EU, man, the Ukraine war. You understand? Or which is going to what? Lead to more economic turmoil. You know what I mean? Global recession. You know what I mean? Implementation of the digital currency and ultimately the RFID chip, man. So this is the book of Ezekiel chapter 38. Verse 1, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. And those lands, Gog and Magog, Meshech, those are the lands of Russia, man. That's the Russian Federation, man. You know what I mean? AKA, formerly known as the Soviet Union. You understand? And that's one of Russia's main adventures under Vladimir Putin is to reestablish what? The Soviet Union, man. You understand? And that's part of what those hooks going in Russia's job, man, to get back to that old Soviet Union empire. You understand? I say, thus said the Lord, power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws. Because the Soviet Union fell, you know what I mean, going back to the 1990s, you understand? But under Vladimir Putin, since the year 2000, he has been building up to what? Achieving back that Soviet Union status, man. You know what I mean? Because that was one of the most powerful empires, man, the Soviet Union. I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shield, and all of them handling swords. Kind of that's what we see, man. A realignment in the world, man. Who is with Russia? Is with Russia and against NATO and the EU, America and the West, man. Who's with America and the West is against Russia and their allies, man. So we seeing what? A split in the hegemony of the world, man. And who is nations that are with Russia? Nations such as Iran, China, North Korea. You know what I mean? These different nations, man, are with are with Russia. And who's with America? The Western nations, man. The European allies, man. You understand? So we seeing that clash, man, of which Yahweh Shai is stirring up in the planet, man. Of which the head honchos of these nations are all nuclear powered nations, man. Nations with nuclear capabilities. You understand? And I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with buckler and shields, all of them handling swords. So what? All of these nations are arming up, man, and that's what one of Russia's main tropes, man. Putin is like, yo, we have nuclear missiles, man, and don't forget that, man. And we're not afraid to use them, of which he is gonna use them, man. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet, Goma and all his bands. So nations like what? Persia, Iran, Ethiopia, you know what I mean? Turkey, which is Goma, because Turkey is part of NATO and the EU, but is what? Playing the fence, man. You know what I mean? Because Turkey does backhand deals with Russia, man. You know what I mean? Erdogan, you know what I mean? He does backhand deals with Putin, man. You know what I mean? And all of this is going to build up to where, these NATO nations, man, are going to turn against the whole, man. You know what I mean? These different European nations, at the end of the day, they're going to turn against Babylon the Great. and shoot missiles upon her, man. You know what I mean? But everything is in time, man. You know what I mean? Everything is in time. It's gonna come to that time, but the time now is for what? Russia against NATO and the EU, man. But guess what? Those feet of iron and clay, they're gonna start to break apart before our eyes, man. And they're doing it, man. Because you have certain NATO nations who not feeling to sanction Russia, man. And you have others who full-fledged against sanctioning Russia, man. So there's division within NATO, man. You understand? That miry clay, man. You know what I mean? The iron and miry clay, man. Those feet that Daniel saw in the vision. Let me see if I can get that real quick. Because Daniel saw what all the empires of the world, from the Babylonians, the Persians and the Medes, the Greeks, the Romans, to the modern day beast, man, NATO and the EU. You understand? Find it. I think it's Daniel. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 32. The image is, because this is from Nebuchadnezzar's dream, man, the king of Babylon. The image's head was of fine gold, the Babylonian empire. His breast and his arms of silver, the Persians and the Medes. His belly and his thighs of brass, the Greeks. His legs of iron, the Romans. His feet part of iron and part of clay. That's the modern day Roman Empire, which is NATO and the EU, man. You know what I mean? Because iron, strong, clay, weak, man. Certain parts of the empire, you know what I mean? Certain nations in NATO are strong, man. Particularly Germany, you know what I mean? UK, France, those are stronger nations. But you have weaker nations like Greece and Italy, man. Those nations are like third world countries, man. You know what I mean? They catching hell over there, man. Especially Greece, man. Greece is a hellhole, man. You understand? But it's a part of NATO, man. You understand? Let me jump down to verse 42. Verse 41. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. So NATO and the EU is divided, man. But there shall be in it of some strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with the miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. So that's all that turmoil over there in Europe, man. You know what I mean? Because some nations are doing good, so to say, and other nations are hellholes, man. Catching hell, man. And right now you have the euro sinking, man. Even the pound, man, is sinking, man. The UK pound sterling is sinking, man. You know what I mean? So, hell is on the horizon, man. You know what I mean? And Russia just mobilized 300,000 man to go into Ukraine and fight, man. You know what I mean? Joel 3:9, man. Cause this is one of the main end time prophecies, man. The world, the third world's war, man. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. The book of Joel. The book of Joel. Joel chapter 3. 3 verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. And I saw videos of these different Russian basically generals or whatever going into the prisons in the prisons over there in Russia, and they're like, yo, if you want to fight, come and fight, man. You know what I mean? If you're in good health, you're between the ages of 22 to 50, hey, man, you can fight for your freedom, man. Join the war in Ukraine. You know what I mean? And we basically gonna give you your freedom, man. And that's them waking up the mighty men. Hey, cause some of the most mightiest men, man, it's sad to say, is them prisoners, man. As a lot of those dudes are stone cold, man. You know what I mean? All they do is work out and eat all day, man. You know what I mean? Nothing else, man. You understand? Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hook into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong. Can. So all these nations are upon what? A military posturing, man. You understand? No more that economic, all the economic finances is going into the military, man. You know what I mean? America is military expenditures are the highest it's ever been, man. Same with all these other heathen nations, man. You understand? They are prepping for what? That last World War, man. That World War 3, man. That war before Yahweh Shai returns, man. And Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is stirring this up, man. 2nd Ezra 9:1, man. And these are things that we use to what? Measure the end times, man. These are things that we use to what? Know that, yo, man, we in the end times. You understand? And it's beautiful. It's beautiful, man. And that's why we say to what Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for that, man. You know what I mean? For having the foresight and the ability to see, man, hey, this is the end times, man. Because we catching hell here, man. This place is a shithole, man. Esau working us to death, man. You know what I mean? You have bills upon bills. You're catching hell from your family, from your woman. You know what I mean? From your children. You know what I mean? Having car issues. Hey, you name it, man. You catching damn hell, man. So why the hell would you want to stay in hell, man? You understand? But hey, that's Jake, man. Hosea 4:6. Destroy for lack of knowledge, man. Nah, man. We happy when we see your Russia mobilizing 300,000 man to go into Ukraine, man. Because what? That's furthering prophecy, man. That is furthering prophecy. Because at the end of the day, you understand what? Micah. This is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10. And I'll probably close it up with this precept, man. Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with a soul destruction. So we departed from this place spiritually and mentally, man. We no longer subscribe to the philosophies and the ways of this world. Because Job 9:24, this world is under the auspices of the wicked, man. You know what I mean? So we departed from it so we don't be destroyed in the coming destruction to come, man. Because the wages of sin is death, man. And the ways of this world is sinful, man. So in order to avoid that payment of death, man, hey, we departed from it and praise and honor and worship Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. And do his works to the best of our ability, man. Hey, so with that, I want to say Kal Halaliam La, Abanawa Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Harakakodash, the Balanas to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone Ruel. Shalom to the elect.